Regret and redemption. My mother and sisters kicked my dad out, but the reason those mean ladies deeply regretted was far more complex than anyone could have imagined. Dad was always the gentle soul in our household. He worked tirelessly to provide for us, often sacrificing his own needs and desires. However, his soft-spoken nature and constant sacrifices were seen as weaknesses by my mother, Evelyn, and my two older sisters, Clara and Denise. They wanted a man who could command respect, who could stand up and make things happen, not someone who quietly accepted the burdens of life. One summer evening, the tension reached its peak. I was hiding in my room, reading a book, when I heard the shouting downstairs. Mom and the sisters were at it again, berating Dad for something trivial. This time, though, it escalated quickly. "We can't keep living like this, John. You're a failure. A nobody. We deserve better." Mom's voice was sharp, cutting through the air like a knife. "Yeah, Dad. You're holding us back," Clara chimed in, her tone dripping with disdain. "You never stand up for yourself. You're so pathetic," Denise added, her words cruel and unforgiving. I could hear Dad's quiet responses, his attempts to reason with them, to make them understand. But they were relentless. It wasn't long before they made the decision that would change everything. "Get out, John. Just leave. We don't need you," Mom declared, her voice cold and final. I heard the front door slam, and then there was silence. I crept downstairs, hoping to find some way to fix things, but it was too late. Dad was gone. The days that followed were filled with a strange emptiness. The house felt different, colder somehow. My mother and sisters carried on as if nothing had happened, but I could see the cracks starting to form in their facade. In the first week, the house seemed quieter without Dad's calming presence. Mom took up a part-time job at the local bakery. Clara spent more time out with her friends, and Denise buried herself in her schoolwork. But despite their efforts to maintain normalcy, a sense of unease hung in the air. It was as if the foundation of our family had crumbled, leaving behind a hollow structure barely holding together. Then, a month later, we received the news. Dad had been found in a small apartment on the other side of town, unconscious and barely alive. He had been working multiple jobs to make ends meet, barely eating or sleeping, until his body couldn't take it anymore. He was taken to the hospital, where he remained in a coma for several weeks. The guilt hit Mom and my sisters like a tidal wave. They visited him every day, their faces pale and drawn, their eyes filled with remorse. I stayed by his side, holding his hand, praying for him to wake up. The hospital room became a second home for us. The sterile walls and the beeping of machines were a constant reminder of how far things had fallen. Mom's tough exterior began to crack as she spent long hours by Dad's bedside, holding his hand, whispering apologies. Clara, usually so composed, broke down in tears more than once. Denise, who always seemed so sure of herself, was suddenly uncertain and scared. "Dad, please wake up," I whispered, my voice cracking with emotion. "We need you." And then, one morning, he did. "Dad!" I cried, tears streaming down my face as his eyes fluttered open. He looked around the room, his gaze finally settling on Mom and my sisters. They were standing at the foot of the bed, their expressions a mix of relief and regret. "I'm sorry, John," Mom whispered, her voice trembling. "We were wrong, so wrong." Clara and Denise nodded, their eyes filled with tears. "Please forgive us, Dad," Clara pleaded. Dad's eyes softened, and he nodded slowly. "It's okay, I understand. We all make mistakes." From that day on, things changed. Mom and my sisters worked hard to make amends, to rebuild the family they had nearly destroyed. They learned to appreciate the quiet strength and unwavering love that Dad had always given us. The recovery process was slow. Dad needed physical therapy to regain his strength, and we all needed emotional healing. Mom took a leave of absence from her job to care for him. She became more patient, more attentive, showing a side of her I had rarely seen. Clara and Denise volunteered at the hospital, helping other families and finding solace in their newfound empathy. One evening, a few months after Dad had woken up, we gathered in the living room for a family meeting. It was something we hadn't done in years. "We need to talk about how we're going to move forward," Mom said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "John, you've always been the glue that held this family together. We took you for granted, and for that, I'm deeply sorry." Dad nodded, his eyes reflecting both pain and understanding. "It's not about assigning blame," he said softly. "It's about learning from our mistakes and growing stronger together." Clara spoke next, her voice shaky but determined. "I used to think that strength meant being loud and assertive, but I've realized that true strength is quiet, persistent, and kind." "Dad, you taught me that," Denise added. "I've learned that it's easy to judge and criticize, but much harder to understand and support. I promise to be better, to listen more, and judge less." I sat there, listening to my family's heartfelt confessions, feeling a warmth and unity I hadn't felt in a long time. We were finally healing. As the months turned into years, our family dynamics transformed. We became more open, more communicative. Family dinners were filled with laughter and meaningful conversations. We took trips together, creating new memories to replace the painful ones. Mom and Dad even renewed their wedding vows in a small, intimate ceremony in our backyard, surrounded by close friends and family. The experience changed us all. Mom became a pillar of support, always there to offer a kind word or a listening ear. Clara pursued a career in social work, driven by her desire to help others. Denise excelled in her studies, but with a newfound humility and understanding of what truly matters. And Dad, he became our hero. Not because he was strong or assertive, but because he embodied the virtues of patience, kindness, and unwavering love. He showed us that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to the strength of the human spirit. In the end, the reason those mean ladies deeply regretted kicking Dad out was not just because of the guilt and the pain it caused, but because they realized too late the immense value of the man they had taken for granted. In the end, their regret became a catalyst for change, bringing our family closer together than ever before. Our journey was marked by hardship and heartache, but it led us to a place of understanding, love, and unity. Regret had given way to redemption, and our family emerged stronger, bonded by the lessons we had learned and the love we had rediscovered. After Evelyn and her daughters harshly expelled their gentle husband and father, John, from their home, they quickly realized the devastating impact of their actions. John's subsequent struggle and hospitalization forced the family to confront their own mistakes and the true meaning of strength and forgiveness. Regret and redemption is a poignant tale of a family torn apart by harsh judgments, only to be reunited through the power of love and the enduring spirit of forgiveness.